One of the things you have to know is that your body doesn't think. Your body has impulses, but your body doesn't think. Your body is controlled from your mind. Your body is controlled from your mind. Your body is not, when you say, my body is controlling me. No, it is your mind giving permission for the body. Let me give you an example. You can feel hungry. Medical people will give you more details on this. Your body has released some enzymes and now you're feeling hungry. But with your mind, you can overrule that instruction. Who understands that? You can overrule that instruction. You're not obligated to eat just because you're feeling hungry. That is why you can fast. And suddenly, even though you're feeling hungry, your mind overrules that instruction and your body continues. And after a while, your body stops sending the signal, I'm feeling hungry. And now you're not hungry anymore. Not because you have eaten, but because your mind overruled the instruction. You know, your mind overruled the instruction. The mind is the intermediary between the spirit and the body. But the mind is to the spirit what the senses is to the body. What your body has is the senses. You have 5 senses: the sense of smell, of taste, of feelings, and sight, and hearing. You know, these are the 5 things that your body has. So your body is sensory. That is, your body is based on the senses. Your body can feel and say it's hot. Your body can feel and say it's cold. This is why, you think about it. You have a twin, and you were both born in Nigeria, in Port Harcourt. And by 2, one is moved out of Nigeria. You are left in Nigeria, and this one goes and now lives in Russia for the next 18 years. And you guys reunite after 18 years on your 20th birthday. You basically came out from the same womb, have very similar physical, say you're identical twins, but your bodies have been trained, the senses of your body have been trained very differently. Who understands that? Both of you can look the same. Now, you go to visit your friend, your twin in Russia, and you can't stand the cold. I mean, you can't stand the cold. You go out, you are shivering, and he's just cool. He's just cool. You look alike. Your responses now are different. Now, he comes over to Nigeria to visit you, and he could barely wear a shirt. You look alike, but he's saying it's hot. He's doing like, he said, hot? I'm feeling cold. You know, I'm feeling cold. Now, your bodies have been trained differently. The senses of the body have been trained differently. So, your body has senses, but your soul is to your spirit what the senses are to your body. That means your soul becomes the senses of your spirit. Now, this is why it's important, because you will say, oh, but it's called spiritual growth. It's called spiritual growth. Your body functions through the signals that the senses gets and communicates to your body. Let me give you an example. You're sitting down, and imagine that you're sitting down somewhere and there's a fire outbreak, but you can't feel heat. You've lost any sense of feeling, and you can't see, you can't smell, you can't hear. You will be there you'll be there until the fire comes to you. Who understands that? Except someone takes you, you cannot respond. So your ability to respond is based on your body collecting senses, collecting signals from your senses. Now, your spirit, imagine that your spirit is not in touch with your soul, or your soul gives the wrong messages to your spirit. Your soul gives the wrong meanings and interpretations to your spirit. Imagine now that your spirit will be controlled by the quality of your soul. If you understand me, can I just see a hand up? Huh? Your spirit will be controlled by the quality of your soul. In the book Power of Your Mind, the man of God, Pastor Chris, explains this, and he says your soul is the doorway to your spirit. Is the way to your spirit. That means your soul is the doorway through which information flows from the physical through your soul to your spirit, and also from your spirit through your soul outside. Let's use a very simple example. Speaking in tongues. The Bible says, he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not to man, but to God. It says, no man understandeth him, but in the spirit he speaketh mysteries. That means speaking in tongues is an activity of the spirit. When you're speaking in tongues, it's not an activity of the mind. Speaking in tongues is the ability and the gift that God gives to you to pray to him without your mind. So when you speak in tongues, the Bible says your mind is not edified. So that information goes from your spirit to your spirit, from your spirit to God, and from God to your spirit. But you need something to come to you through your mind. That is why God now gives you another gift that is called the interpretation of tongues. Because now through the interpretation of tongues, your mind is educated, your mind is edified. Because now when you speak in tongues and you interpret that tongues, you interpret it to your mind. So that information comes from your from the spirit now, but through your mind, through that interpretation, because the interpretation will not come in tongues. The interpretation will come in a known language that your mind can relate to. Who understands that? Speaking in tongues, your spirit relates to it. But when the interpretation comes, it comes in a known language. Now your mind can relate to it. Now when your mind relates with it, your mind takes the signal and now can act on that signal.